What's up, guys? It's your Super Players back at it again with another deck profile, and it's the homie Caleb.
What's up, guys?
Representing Piccolo's Daycare.
And a little
the
bit of
GameChest and Mission Viejo. And tell them what you were running, Caleb.
For this release event, I ran the new U7 Frieza. I like Dragon Ball Super a lot, so when I saw that his ability was really cool with just the interactions of all the new cards, I knew that I really wanted to play him.
And you went undefeated, right?
I did, yeah. I went undefeated with him.
Crazy.
Our team didn't do as well as we'd hoped, but I honestly had no doubt in my mind if it was like an actual event, I would have taken at least first with it, just because it just accounts for the meta. Not that I'm a good player, I just made a counter meta deck, is what it is.
For sure.
Yeah, you can definitely see on stream, I made a lot of misplays, so. But yeah, essentially the leader's good because the Warrior of Universe 7 makes all the new Universe 7 cards free, essentially, in terms of specified cost. Not free, but I don't have to worry, so I can run the Rainbow if I want to, and it's not an issue. But his main ability is right here, the once per turn where I can just drop a Universe 7 card from my hand and draw 2.
Dang.
It's very strong because he's one of the few, and the reason I gravitated toward him so hard is he's one of the few leaders that doesn't interact with the board to do something. So that's really strong. Most people you have to swing and then combo, most people you have to rip a life. He just does that ability, so it makes it strong because you can sit there and scout your board, scout what your player does, see if they're playing meta, see if they're playing something else, and then adapt your game from there.
There we go.
Sweet.
And let's get to the deck profile. Dude, your deck profile was probably my favorite.
Thanks, man. It's a lot of fun. So essentially, right here we have 3 mass sands. The cool thing that I found out about this deck is you can get mass out as early as turn 2 from milling, from playing Universe 7 reps. Yeah, and that's really strong, especially for the meta right now is veggies. The meta right now is like things that get out early for free, and being able to pop them as early as turn 2 while still accounting for battering if you need to for cold bloodlusters, it's really strong. So it initially started with 4-drop Trunks because I think 4-drop Trunks is better value. You can take cards from your drop and use his ability again. You can look for cards that you need if they crit it and you don't want it to be crit. So yeah, but ultimately, just because the meta right now, this is a little bit better run. It saved me a lot. Veggie package, this just says, I don't care about your veggies. So 3 mass, you can get it off consistently. You aggressively mulligan for them if you know you're going up against a veggie package deal. So if we're getting to some of the yellow here, 3 Nimbus. Nimbus is always just really strong, you know, a good card. The bad rings, like I said, there's a lot of utility for the bad rings in here, mainly with mass, mainly with some of the other cards I'll get into, but you're drawing so much, you only really need 2. You can see it consistent enough. The perfect pair to Flying Nimbus is Roshi. Roshi's one of my favorite new cards in the set. He can be played in anything that's yellow, but what's best about him is now I have a negate for any color. So as long as I have an energy open, he's very, very strong and did save me a lot of turns because I don't want to get hit with this leader, and so he saves that. The other thing, this card is actually a little more broken in this deck than most. This Universe 7 rep, even though it has no specified cost, the fact that I can look up 7 U7 cards makes it really strong when I'm looking for a specific card. In this case, I run the Secret Rare, so if I'm looking for the Secret Rare, there's 4 cards I can look at. But the permanent makes it great because since it's Universe 7, it actually doesn't say Universe 7 battle card, it just says Universe 7 card. So since this permanent has that, I can use its ability on this. I can search it with the Ready to Strike Goku. It makes it really strong that it kind of makes it a pseudo battle card in that sense. So yeah, it's a really, really broken card in this deck. This deck has 3 big boys. One of the first ones is this one right here, the Cold-Hearted Frieza. I like him a lot just because you can get him out and you can kind of get him out safe even if you hard cast him turn 5. Because being able to tap 2 cards that are barrier and keep them tapped is really strong. It makes it so you have at least some sort of defense, or if they're setting up blockers and you don't want their blockers there, you can just take them out. So I mean, you know, apes are really big right now. You tap that King Vegeta, you go hard on him, you might mess up their day as well. This card I'm going to put off to the side, but he is the start for obviously the SCR Goku. He is one of the strongest cards in the deck. I love him a lot just because his auto is really crazy. Getting back energy like, you know, Season 1 Gotenks is just so good. Drawing cards, anything is so good. But what makes him busted is his activate main. Choosing 2 cards from your life means essentially he's like TN because it's not a once per turn. So I can just do that if I'm at like 5 and then I get the 10,000. And remember in the game right now, any power boost remains on the card. So if I do end up EX evolving him, the next cards get that too. And I'll get into why that's so strong. But he's just a really, really broken card for the engine. Then my first real big boy of the set, 7 Emperor Frieza.
Oh, I saw this on live
Yeah,
stream.
he's just so, yeah, if you haven't seen the stream, watch it, because you just lay him down and you say, I win. He's kind of like an I win card in the current meta for sure, but he's able to negate any counters and any activating auto skills, which, I mean, that's 90% of the game right now. So throwing this down, even if you do get popped, they have to rip a life.
Yep.
And if they do rip a life, it goes into the drop area, not their hand like a lot of people think, and that's what gets a lot of people. So this is my first big boy.
Such a busted card.
Yeah. And then this one's a funny tech because at first I had it because I wanted this. I'm actually so glad that I pulled it out on stream. But I mean, this is canon episode 131 ending Goku and Frieza team up, you know, and it just feels really good to get this out. And initially I was like, I just want this to happen. And when I realized this also accounts for the current meta because there's apes, there's stuff like that, it's really strong because you just play Frieza, then like kind of slow roll them and get out this guy. Or you can just really be aggressive for the Ultra Instinct, and because this leader does untap on Awaken, you're able to get this out as early as turn 4. Which is really crazy. And what's nice about it is because, like I said, I have the battering utility. If they, for whatever reason, block it, I can just say, no, it's going through. Yeah. So this is really, really good against monkeys, really good against any super aggro that gets the board, like veggies. If they get like all their veggies out turn 3, you just turn 4 them this, and then their day is ruined.
Rip.
So we have this, and the reason I want to so obviously the 3 rapids because it's so easy to play. And then it's just really nice that we have a blue Goku right here. That's 1 cost. You can usually, because this works as Universe 7, it's really strong. Because it searches 3 cards, it's really strong. But because I can play the line here, I didn't have to add any other Gokus. So it was just really, really cool that it got added in here. I mean, I could play it on this if I needed to, like if I really wanted that. But it's just, it's nice to be able to have a 1-drop that, like, you just throw on the field and usually they're just going to forget about it. And then you hit them with turn 3. So it's really strong. I have Piccolo in here, mostly because he's a U7. He's a blue energy for, you know, because I do need to account for the energy here because they don't get the Universe 7 trait.
Okay.
So he's in here to account for blue energy a lot of times, but he's also a kind of, if I play the mirror match, because this card's a headache, or even the Ultra Instinct, or you'll see the Secret Rare is the biggest headache. Having a barrier blocker is really strong because if they try to hit me with Secret Rare, I'll just block it out. And they can't tap this with, like, if they're playing another Frieza, or like, even if they use the 5-drop Frieza, for instance, they have to account for that for a turn, and it's really good to just throw out there turn 3. Especially because your real good play, and this is one of my favorite cards since the beginning of the game, is Objection.
Objection.
Yeah, Objection. Yeah. So it's really good for this deck because most decks early on, if you didn't get Objection turn 2, it was too late. Like turn 3, you're already behind. What's great about this deck is you can play it turn 2 and turn 3 because all your big boys are turn 5. So getting him out turn 2 or turn 3 to see what the deck's doing is really easy, and you're milling so hard that it's very easy to get out. And yeah, he's a really strong card to play because getting your 5-drops turn 4, that's when everyone's like really ramping up. And to be able to swing for game then, it's just really easy. Okay. So just a strong card. He's, especially when you play him, if you're going the Secret Rare win, you're going to want to aggressively mill for this card. This is your MVP. Yep. I have 4 of these.
Hey, you don't run Shugesh.
Yeah, don't run Shugesh. There we
go.
Yeah, like kind of like a personal thing. I'm not really into Shugesh. I think it's too strong of a card. But I mean, I did consider it because it is a current I'm trying to think competitive meta. But this just works better with my leader. I can always mill them if I need to. Like, it is confusing when people see me play it and they like think I'm gonna like 10k it. But yeah, I can use Frieza's ability on it, so it's nice. And if I am going for the Secret Rare win, getting the 10k and drawing a card is still better. Plus, Shugesh does only have real 1 target, and that's the 1-drop Goku. So it doesn't see a lot of utility in this deck. Sure, you can put Shugesh in here, and you can see a lot of different opportunities, like BCC Goku, like Explosive, like the 3-drop Gohan for U7. There's a lot of things with it, but I just felt like this was a less not fun thing because I am very against Shugesh, and this just worked better with the deck because there are a lot of times I have like maybe these cards in deck and one of this, and I need this for the ability. There we go. So another really fun card here. We have the 3-drop or the 8-drop Goku. A lot of people sleep on this card because they think, oh, you have to have a green leader with it. Its auto doesn't even need to really work because, yeah, it's nice to have cards ripped for it to drop, but the fact that I can just play it with triple attack and crit means that I'm not going to have to worry about you plussing if I'm hitting you with this card. So a thing that I like to do to people that like they won't really see coming is, even if I'm not going for the Secret Rare, I can play this card, EX Evolve, and then, you know, that's only 1, and then I swing for 2, and then just EX evolve again. Now I have a quintuple strike critical that on aggro decks, this kills masked. So if you, and I've done it, if you have all 3, that's septuple, that's 7 strikes at once. And you know, if they're playing aggro, they're gonna counter one of these. They're not gonna counter 6.
You said the power rolls over, right?
Yeah, the power rolls over. So if you use, that's what I'm saying. If you use this and use ability, you get the 10,000. Now you have a 45k with nothing on there. Even if they're gonna like try to counter it out, they're gonna stop maybe 1 or 2. They're not gonna stop 5. Yeah, they're gonna be at 4 life. They're gonna be at 3 life. They're done. Yeah. And then this is just the most fun because a lot of people like saw this card and you can see around. Everyone's like, this card's trash. This SCR sucks. And I was like,
whoop so many people's butts with that card.
This is the only time I didn't win with this was against Apes because they have so many blockers. But because he's drawing so hard, because you can look at everything, because you're aggressively mulling for it, you get this out turn 4. I mean, I did it to every single person in that game, and just the look on their faces, it's unfortunate. And again, the power carries over. So if you're at 5 life with this guy, and this is the optimal play is 5 life or turn 4 drop him. If you're at like 5 life, you use your ability or use his ability, get 2 cards. Use ability, get 2 cards. Use his ability, get 2 cards. Awaken, get 2 energy. Use ability, get 2 cards. You just plus like 8 cards, and now you have enough fodder to play for him and pay for him and still swing and hopefully get these guys out. It's not uncommon to hit 140, 100. The most I've hit is 205k.
What?
With a hit, yeah. It was a little bit different build, but you can there's ways to build this.
Wow.
But yeah, you can hit some crazy numbers, and if you're doing it right, like I said, this guy doesn't interact with the board at all. So you can just sit there, leave them at 8 life. They're not going to be able to super combo this. The most they're going to get to is like 40.
You did that to me right now.
Yeah. So it's dirty. It's dirty, but yeah, this card is a lot better than people thought.
And there you guys have it. This is a spicy deck. Yeah. I fell in love with it when I first saw it on stream. And this is Caleb. He went undefeated yesterday at the Tournament of Power tournament, Team Wars.
Yep. It was fun. It was fun. It was a good time.
It was awesome.
It was great.
And shout outs to Piccolo's Daycare.
Yeah, Piccolo's Daycare, GameChest really held it down. Everybody, Supah Playas, definitely love all the stuff you're doing. If you haven't, hit that sub button, you know.
Thank you.
I think like a small puppy dies if you don't, so don't do that.
There you go. There you guys have it from the man himself. Like we always say, stay super.
Take you guys.